actual planning, and the cat is complaining again like he usually does. It is literally only 10:52. He can get over it. Where are you? There you are. Stop it. I want to plan. The dog's not complaining. You can see Daisy Pete's out there. Tiny little dog Pete's. She's not tiny. Anyway, get to the point. We are back at it again and focusing more on my actual whip and not just Megan wants to write weird stuff all the time. What's new? So yeah, I'm just going to reiterate stuff for myself because I've kind of been, this past week, not a lot of writing, not a lot of planning, but have been changing things in my head. So mostly the basic overall plot, kind of. I've not really been able to find one to stick with. So right now I'm just writing down my character names and going back into my actual whip document to remember what certain character names are. It has been a while. Let's see. And cheetah. And then there is. There we go. So we'll go from that and I will keep you updated. So, watching this character agency and growth by Alexa Dunn. Unfortunate but kind of hilarious. Pause. So I've decided to, so I'm starting with the character sheets. This is just kind of the basic part. The basics as I fill out these parts for Fox, Doe, and Hyena. I'll lengthen them, add a little bit more, and then I'll move on to Mamba and Cheetah. So yeah. Status kinda, that's more based on where they are in this particular plot. So either, essentially, all these characters are either prostitutes or prostitutes in training, depending on their age. And so that's kind of what I mean by status. And ethnicity is where they're from in this country. And language is obviously what language outside the royal language. Outside the royal tongue, because that is their overarching language that they speak. Yeah. I will tell you more about it after I fill out more of it. I have finally gotten that done. It's 7:30 at night. So I've clearly done a lot today, but whatever. This is Daisy. Daisy! Sweet potato! Hi! So you saw more than just her Pete's? Yeah, I'm working on it. I promise. I guess. So right now I am going through my Spotify and I'm making a playlist, a soundtrack, if you will, for whatever whip I'm working on at this exact moment. I can't really remember as I'm doing this voiceover. I was just kind of showing this because a lot of people have told me that this is a good way to help get some form of inspiration. I don't know if that's true. I don't really think it is. I think it was a good way for me to waste time because I don't write to music. It distracts me when I'm writing. But I guess it was a kind of a way to help me get the voice or the feeling of the scene I was working on. So, I look like this. I just woke up. I had to get up really early to take Daisy to get groomed. We'll see how that works because I don't know. I don't know how dogs react to getting groomed. She loves being brushed and taking baths though, so whatever. So I wanted to talk about writing, about what I've shown you in the few videos, what I've talked about in these few videos, and just why this video is going to be an absolute mess. I think one of the things that I always liked about AuthorTube was the fact that everybody had probably already published, or the fact that they were actually writing, something was coming about it, but that sounds fake.
Like, let's be honest, anybody who spends any time writing knows that sometimes you just don't write. You tell people you do, but realistically, you don't. You don't, right? It's sometimes really difficult. It's really difficult to write with the dog. I'm finding out because she wants attention 24/7. But also it's just sometimes hard to really get into a voice for writing. I don't know about other people, but when I write, I want to write in a specific voice that I have that just narratively sounds better. And when it doesn't have that, it sounds really stale and stiff, and I get frustrated. I'm just like, I'm not writing today. Recently I reread Tith, whatever, by Holly Black. It was like my favorite urban fantasy book from like forever ago. When I first read it, I think I was in maybe middle school, and I read it so many times. It's kind of ridiculous, and I hadn't read it since probably sometime in high school, and just for my birthday I got a copy of it from my best friend, and she brought me a copy, and I read it in a day, and I just reminded me so much why I wanted to write, and also who I apparently kind of copy the voice of a little bit. I don't know, but I'm back into writing, and I'm not writing any of the things that I've told you about. They weren't sparking me. Like, I wrote quite a bit of Isle of Gilded Rot, and that is still like a really good high fantasy thing I'm writing, but like I think I've said it before, I don't like world building. Wow, I'm really distracted just the way I look there. Oh god, that made it worse. I look like a monster. I look like a gremlin. God. Anyway. Oh shit. But anyway, I'm working on something else, something where I've actually taken the time and I've written things out, and I've been world building, and I've been doing things for it at the same time of actually writing, and I've gotten like 1,100 words down, which for someone who hasn't been writing, that's really good. I think that's really good. I'm really proud of what I've written. The characterization sounds good. Everything just, it's a good thing that's going on. But things like Isle of Gilded Rot, it's okay. I don't mind what I've written, but it doesn't have a good voice that I appreciate. And with Pussy Whipped, it's just, I don't have anything really planned outside of like these little thought bubbles that sound interesting. I guess what I'm saying is I've never been good at sticking to one story. I get really, just the moment my narrative voice disappears, I just can't write very well. I get frustrated, it doesn't sound good, it doesn't seem like it's flowing well, and I know everybody's gonna be like, well, that's what editing's for, but like, how am I ever gonna get to editing if I don't fucking write it first? And if I'm not gonna write it if I don't like how it sounded to begin with. You know, I'm really stubborn and obnoxious like that. Sorry about it. But I thought if I was going to start this author doom journey, I should be honest and just be honest about the writing journey on my end and not make it look super glamorous. So you get 8 a.m. Megan, who went to the vet's office looking like this. Holy shit. People saw me. Y'all saw me. You see me, they've seen me. Also, I have a weird like spot right there that isn't. Anyway, that's completely not the point. Point is, I want to be honest about my writing journey with all of you, and I think that'd be a good step for AuthorTube. I know in the AuthorTube newbie tag part 2, there was a question about, I think it was something about where do you see AuthorTube or something like that. The new beginning of AuthorTube, and I think something that would really do well is if we were all honest about the writing journey, really honest about where you are and how writing isn't actually easy. I think that's why we have so many people around who are like, oh my god, I want to write a book. And you're like, it's not easy, right? It's not easy. You have so much that goes into writing a book that you'll go weeks without writing anything because you can't fathom creating that sort of nonsense. So yeah, I'm writing. I've gotten stuff down. I feel really proud of it, and I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of the fact that I've actually physically written stuff down, which, by the way, I only write in pink pen. I don't know why, but it just makes everything better. I've gotten actual novel words down, like 1,100 novel words. I can tell you the exact number right now. I have 1,159. That's a lot, right? That's a lot for someone who hasn't been writing. So the purpose of this was, hi, my name is Megan. I never really write, but I'm really proud of what I do write, and I'm very bad at keeping up with projects. So if throughout this whole journey you start getting attached to a project that I'm talking about, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get too attached to anything I write, because if you can't tell, I just keep starting new things as the inspiration hits, and I don't keep working on other things because that's just who I am. But I really want to stick with this since I have so much written down for it. Really want to stick with Isle of Gilded Rot, and maybe come back to Pussy Whipped because it is such like a pet project. It's something I'm really interested in. I like the idea of, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna edit this video and put it up. Bye guys. Have a nice day.